The Day the Earth Blew Up is the first fully animated, original, theatrically released Looney Tunes movie that's brand new, and I bet you've never heard of it till right now. The movie follows Daffy Duck and Porky Pig on a mission to save their house while also trying to stop an alien invasion. I'd say the film's plot can be a little cliched at points. I won't spoil anything, but if you've seen a movie where two animated characters are at odds with each other, you know what happens in the third act. But I feel like the film is way less focused on plot and way more focused on telling jokes, and it's mostly pretty darn good at it. Granted, I don't think every joke works. For instance, the social media joke.
Do you really think we can make money being influencers? Of course we can!
It just feels weird to see the Looney Tunes with iPhones, in my opinion. And also Daffy shaking ass. It felt kind of forced, but the movie's like so packed with jokes that it moves on like very quickly. You're on to the next joke before you even think about what you just saw, which I think keeps the film at a rapid pace, but also a good pace. Another thing I liked was the nods to older horror movies, which is my bread and butter. I noticed references to The Thing, Night of the Living Dead, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Well, I mean, the whole plot's kind of a reference to Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And of course, the title is a reference to The Day the Earth Stood Still. Not only is this film a nod to classic sci-fi and horror, but also a nod to, of course, classic Looney Tunes. It felt like a nod to a very specific era, like the post-color, pre-Bugs Bunny era, where Daffy and Porky were really the only main characters. Also when Daffy was less of the Squidward-ish asshole and actually Daffy.
Greetings, kid. Let's osculate. Let me read the bumps on your head. No bumps. We'll make some. Perhaps you'd like your palm read. Very well. Woo!
Aside from Porky and Daffy, there's also Petunia Pig, which is a character I just learned existed. My guess is she's much like Lola, where she's kind of a generic character that only exists to be a copy of the main character, but a girl. And also much like Lola from Space Jam to the Looney Tunes show, they actually give her a personality here. She's the quirky scientist girl whose nerdiness helps to save the day. Not exactly the most original character trope in the world, but her and Porky have a good dynamic and she's a fun character. Aside from Porky, Daffy, and Petunia, there really aren't that many other Looney Tunes characters in this. In some way, I kind of like that, the confidence to be like, these are the only characters we need, and also felt like an ode to classic Looney Tunes shorts. You wouldn't normally have Bugs cross over into a random Wile E. Coyote short, and it made sense that a Porky and Daffy story would just have Porky and Daffy. It feels like a extended version of a classic short, but I also feel like having the characters appear up every once in a while as cameos or characters would have at least helped to make the world feel a lot larger. I will say we're talking about them not adding classic characters, but I think this movie created a classic character in Farmer Jim. He's not in the movie very much and he really only serves to be motivation for Porky and Daffy, but his design and animation style is so effortlessly funny. You know, like the trope in old cartoons when you can always tell what object's about to move because it's shaded differently than the backgrounds? Well, Farmer Jim is kind of like an inversion of that. Instead of the object obviously not being done by the background artist, this time it's the character being done by the background artist. And just the way they chose to animate him, it was just so funny. I kind of hope Farmer Jim appears in some sort of other Looney Tunes thing, but that probably won't happen. Another highlight of the film is the great 2D animation, which frankly I miss so much in theatrically released animated movies. CG has been the dominant animation style for a long time now. Nothing against CG, I think it can look quite beautiful, and some of my favorite animated movies are CG, but I don't get why the industry is anti-2D. What is wrong with 2D? 2D was the original medium. Plus, 2D is timeless and ages way more gracefully than CG. Take a look at this clip from The Lion King from '94. Looks beautiful, right? Now look at Toy Story a year later. Obviously nothing against Toy Story, I love Toy Story, but CG is very technologically bound, and 2D is drawings. We've been doing that since the caveman era. The only other major studio 2D movie I could think of in the past few years is the Bob's Burgers movie. Hell, stop motion is getting more movies than 2D nowadays. This movie was originally created for an HBO Max release, but in 2022, David Zaslav bought out Warner Brothers, making him the new WB CEO and my new personal enemy. Over the past few years, he has added his reality show slot to HBO Max, taken away the HBO prestige from the name of the service, so now it's just a random guy's name, Max, and taken off many titles that they own the exclusive rights to, such as a majority of Cartoon Network's catalog, many Max originals, and on topic with this video, all original classic Looney Tunes shorts. But by far the worst crime this man has done is tossed out fully made and edited movies just for a fucking tax write-off. He of course did this with Batgirl and Coyote vs. Acme, another Looney Tunes property that was also penned by James Gunn. Like, that man has produced nothing but gold. Why are you tossing his stuff out? This was almost the fate of this movie. This movie almost got tossed out, but I guess Zaslav decided to melt his icy heart a little and sell it off to other distributors. Various companies around the world picked up the rights, but it all was at very weird release times. Like, the Italian Blu-ray of this movie was out a month before its theatrical US release. That's very weird to me. I know international release dates can be odd, but not like that odd. I actually saw it twice because of that. Once via the Italian version, and another time in theaters to support the artists. Overall, it's a great time filled with a bunch of gags, great 2D animation, and a love letter to Looney Tunes of old. If it's still playing near you, check it out to support the artists, and as a fuck you to Warner Brothers. 8 resources out of 10.
All hail the resource. Isn't that a boba drink? Boba. Yeah, that's all, folks. Porky, wait! That can't be all. We gotta keep this thing open for a sequel.
Daffy, your movie barely exists as it is. There's no way you're getting a sequel, though that would be cool.